A businessman visiting Japan was detained by customs because he claimed to be from a country which does not exist on our Earth. When the records of Japanese war crimes were released in the year 2007, customs records were separately released, which post-dated the end of the war by 15 years. The full story was buried under a mountain of bureaucratic paperwork. That is, until now. In 1954, at the Haneda International Airport in Tokyo, one of the customs inspectors questioned a man in a business suit. He examined the man's passport, which was already stamped with several visits to Japan. But his nationality was a problem, because his passport was issued by the country of Taured. The inspector thought it might be a joke, because there is no such nation, not on our Earth. The businessman was not laughing. He got angry, and his face turned red. He said, "You don't know Taured?" The inspector was young, and briefly considered that he might be mistaken. He knew he had to pass this problem up the chain of command, but he did not expect the businessman's reaction when told he would have to wait for a supervisor. The man from Taured clutched his chest and collapsed on the freshly waxed floor of the customs station. Today we have more advanced knowledge of how to treat a heart attack. This was the 1950s, but treatment could not be delayed, where minutes can make a difference. The man from Taured was immediately carried to the emergency medical station at the Haneda airport. That is where he was soon treated with the best heart attack drug known to that era, nitroglycerin. When he recovered, he revealed to the medical personnel that this was not the first time he had suffered such an attack. But it was the first time he had been successfully treated for it. He had never heard of nitro. He was then deemed healthy enough for some light interrogation. At the Tokyo airport, there was a small, secure room where an experienced customs officer conducted the questioning. Taured must be a new country, suggested the officer. The businessman said, "My country has been here for 1,000 years. Then the officer asked him to find his homeland on a map. The man pointed to an area between France and Spain, but on closer examination of the atlas, he became agitated, flipping back and forth between the index and the map. There was no Taured. The authorities were hard-pressed to cite any law broken by this man. His driver's license was also issued by the government of Taured. The man's name was not associated with that of any known criminal. But they could not let the man leave the airport without kicking the problem upstairs once again. And it was getting late. The police allowed him to check into his hotel. The hotel said they lost his reservation, but surely this happens to businessmen all the time. He paid with Japanese yen out of his wallet. The money was real. The concierge handed him a key to a room on the 10th floor. Outside of his door were posted 2 policemen. The next morning, when the police knocked on his door, there was no response. When the hotel manager came to unlock the door, they found the room empty. He could not have left out the windows, as the windows did not even open. The bed had not been slept in, and there was little sign of occupancy, except for one bar of soap, which had been used in the bathroom. A search was launched by the Tokyo police. The man from Taured was never seen again. But one official report fell through the cracks. It was among the files at the emergency medical station of Haneda Airport, where it was recorded that a number of capsules had gone missing from the dispensary. Nitroglycerin capsules.
I have seen some of the experiments shown in this film actually carried out